this is going to be just one of those run-of-the-mill films, which
Right.
I'm not keen to do. I need to look at the youth in a slightly different way. And I was just very lucky. I found this e-rickshaw driver, Imran. I found the Dalit reporter. And of course, this fantastic space at the stadium. When it's a 3-week start to finish project, and I'm doing everything by myself, there's no assistant, nothing. Making inroads into women groups, women community, finding their voices, it is not easy.
Pankaj, thank you so much for making this film and also coming to Kolkata. So, with election, I think this is part of a 9-film series.
There were
that
9
film is
films
made.
commissioned for the elections during the Lok Sabha. This was one of them, shot in UP.
2024. I mean, commissioned in 2023 and to be made in 2024. Right. And very basic questions I would start with is that why did you choose this particular place amongst any other?
Well, let's cut to the chase. To make any documentary like what you saw in Lalit's film, you need an entry point. The Advocate is the entry point. It becomes very easy to shoot. You have access to your people, to your characters. Similarly, I knew somebody in this small town very well, one of my students, who's aspiring to become a leader in the Congress party. And so he was my entry point. So he invited me, he said, you can come and I will introduce you to a lot of young people in this small town. And it just, so that was the starting point. Initially, the idea was to focus on young people who were campaigning for the Samajwadi Party, or the young people who were campaigning for the BJP. And just 2 days of campaigning with Utkarsh Verma, and I said, this is going to be just one of those run-of-the-mill films, which I'm not keen to do. I need to look at the youth in a slightly different way.
Right.
So I started looking around, and I was just very lucky. I found this e-rickshaw driver, Imran. I found the Dalit reporter. And of course, this fantastic space at the stadium where these young people are running. They are running to chase their dreams. So it just kind of fell together to make a film, And we are talking about a 3-week shoot from start to finish.
Okay.
With no background research, nothing. It's a start to finish project,
Okay. So were you, initially when you went there, was it in your mind that this is going to be a youth-oriented film?
Well, frankly, what I had in my mind was I actually wanted to make a film on my student, who is aspiring and who is pretty active in the Congress party. But the way, so when the film was commissioned, it was planned like that. That was December. By February, the India Alliance came up, and by literally a month before the elections, my student called up. He said, there's an alliance between the Samajwadi Party and the Congress, which we all know.
Right.
This particular constituency, the Samajwadi Party is fielding a candidate. So my status is 0. I mean, now this is something which we all need to understand. We think, a grand alliance means so much. You'll be surprised the Congress party and the Congress party worker in this town was completely sidelined till the last day.
Oh.
And we're talking about an alliance, So he was out, and then I just kept looking around for young voices.
Right.
And so as I said, I found these people at the stadium, the Dalit reporter and the e-rickshaw person. Just very lucky to have run into them. Chance encounters, nothing else.
Right. So 2 things come to my mind. One is that when you say that Ajay Kumar Teni, so we know that there has been a case against him. I mean, not against him, but so can you please
tell
us about that?
Just for a quick background, Ajay Kumar Teni is the Minister of State for Home. He's the right-hand man of Amit Shah. And it was his son who is infamous for that very infamous scene where a car was driven over the farmers in UP. And somehow, it was very strange, it was not an electoral issue for anyone. Not for the Samajwadi Party, not for the Mayawati's party, not even for the BJP. They said, no, it's a personal affair. So once again, what is intriguing for me is that, sitting in cities, we construct ideas how elections would be fought. But the ground reality is very, very different. And in this situation, it was written on the wall, Mr. Taney will lose hands down. Also because there was a very strong Samajwadi Party wave in UP, and Mr. Taney has a very tainted image as a person in this place. So it was quite a kind of foregone conclusion that he's going to lose. Yeah.
In fact, there was a scene where someone says that, we will vote for Utkarsh Verma.
Yeah.
So from there, and when the helicopter takes off, and there is this, Surendra says this thing that now I'm absolutely certain that, he's going to lose.
Yeah.
So that is almost like, going into, almost like a, lost election foretold. So the other thing that comes to my mind is very important, that when we talk about youth, I'm quite surprised not seeing the women.
Okay, well, that's my shortcoming. It's not the shortcoming of the society. We have to, please bear with me and understand, I'm a male making a film. This is not the first time I'm doing it. It is impossible to navigate these spaces. And I strongly believe, and this has happened in my earlier films, the absence of something makes you feel the presence of it.
Right.
So the fact that there are no women in this film, it stands out. It's not, when it's a 3-week start to finish project, and I'm doing everything by myself, there's no assistant, nothing. Making inroads into women groups, women community, finding their voices, it is not easy.
Right.
I'm not saying they do not exist. They are a formidable force to be reckoned with. They are a formidable vote bank. But as a filmmaker, having access, in 3 weeks it's not possible.
You could not manage that
I
somehow.
could not,
Yeah,
no.
Okay. No, points taken. So other thing that, after watching the film, I felt that, camera has been a very important device. Sometimes it empowers not only you as a filmmaker, and that is also the point of reference for my earlier question, but importantly, what you have managed to do in the film is that since you have also followed this, young journalist, and you are following him, even though, we have not seen the person who is taking his, bites or interviews or, when he is presenting the news.
Yeah.
I was actually looking for the person who was probably behind.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, so thing is that what do you think of, media today, in a generalized thing?
Thanks for asking that question. That is something which surprised me, because when I started looking for people, so I said, okay, let me look for young journalists,
right,
in this small town, and you'll be surprised, it's actually a business. So the first person I came across who runs a very famous local channel over there, I met him day one. He said, yes, wonderful, I would love to cooperate with you, but let me just tell you, I have a deal with the BJP, I'm getting 2 lakhs for it.
Oh, wow.
Would you like to shoot with me? I said, no. Thanks a lot. There you go. So so the so-called youth/journalism has already been bought over.
Right.
All the channels, the local channels, they're all paid. It's all paid news, In that space, there is somebody like Surendra, whom I found. And I think he's just too idealistic. When I saw his presence on YouTube, we are talking about 40 people following him. And every news is seen by maybe 12, 20 people. And this is something which he's doing for the last 2-3 years. And he is very comfortable with it. Because somewhere he has hope that this voice is going to be heard. The voice of the youth, the voice of the Dalit youth is going to be heard. So in his own small utopian world, he is doing what he can. And I think that's very important.
Right.
I do not believe in the number game. That I'm not looking for overnight results. I am interested in these small forces which are at work in every possible small village in this country.
Right.
I think
the resilience itself is very, very important in today's world, particularly in India. Yeah. So with this, I would like to open the question to come from the audience.
Yeah, there's somebody over there.
Thank you for making this film. So my question is mostly around like after process of shooting. कि 3 हफ्ता आपने shoot किया, लेकिन so you gained all the information that you didn't had background for. But you know what is the responsibility as a filmmaker you hold कि हाँ ये सामान मेरे को मिल गया है, इसको मुझे कैसे present करना है, which is also unbiased,
Yep.
but also gives the whole gist of like, you know, what's happening. So as a filmmaker, what kind of, you know, ethics or what kind of non-negotiables that you hold to make that happen, especially
Well,
in...
it's not, it's, you know, if you have your head in the right place and the heart in the right place, it's not difficult. And I'm not dealing with footage which is volatile. I have to keep people's, their personal security is at stake. In a film like this, it was not. So putting the material together wasn't difficult at all. In fact, for me, the challenge was, it's a story of a small town. How much of the small town flavor can be woven in? Like, for example, when I went there, there was this mela, carnival happening, which runs for 3 weeks. And every evening, I would just go there at the carnival and have a bite or something. And I said, how can this carnival be part of this film? There is something in this space which intrigues me. And one day, I read those slogans, 6, 12, 20, 30, 40. And suddenly it said everything about this society. You know, things which are being sold for 6 rupees, things are sold for 10 rupees. That's how the society is functioning. So I started reading, or let's put it this way, in editing terms, I started deconstructing the mela in a different way altogether. And once you give it a certain meaning, it becomes very easy on the editing table, to construct. So these are the small things. And of course, I have my favorite tools. For me, rain is very important. All my films in the last 30 years have rain. I think it's a very important emotional tool. And I was lucky, it poured like cats and dogs one fine day. I wasn't even prepared for it. And trains are very important for me in all my films. So, of course, in this place, the train had a very important role to play next to the defunct sugar factory. For me, while I was there, in the very beginning, the sugar factory became very important. Because when I read the history of this place, I realized this town actually came up around the sugar factory. And the sugar factory had actually no responsibility towards the small town. Absolutely none. All the jobs were for the outsider. And this is something, again, which you and I should know. In all these factories, the jobs are always for the outsiders. Only the security is local. That's why Imran Khan, he applied for a security job. Any other job is not possible, So that narrative, again, for me became very important. How this sugar factory, which actually is the backbone economy of this small town, has actually cheated them. And till date, and this is Bajaj Hindustan Sugar Factory, which is one of the biggest in Asia when it started, and till date, it's one of the biggest defaulters for the sugarcane farmer. So all these small narratives, you kind of build them, you keep them in mind at the back of your head, and you start editing. It's very simple. It wasn't difficult to edit this film, not at all. No.
I'm afraid that we do not have much time left.
Sure.
Okay.
I could not understand the concept of that revenue village. Could you just
Okay, fine. It was rocket science for me, that these things happen in this country. So here is this small village which I went to, which Surendra took me to. So these people are actually living in a jungle. They have actually built that jungle. They went there for plantation. So all this jungle is being planted by them. And they, in the government records, it is not a revenue village. Once it becomes a revenue village, it becomes part of the bigger panchayat. You become part of the Gram Panchayat, you have a say and you have access to the Gram Panchayat resources. But because the government does not want They are now saying you're outsiders. So that village exists, but it's not a revenue village. So literally you're a person on, you don't exist. But the government wants you as a citizen of this country, so you can vote for the Lok Sabha elections. But you cannot vote for the Gram Panchayat elections because you don't exist. It's a strange dichotomy.
Let me tell you, there is a good news from Pankaj's side is that his next film, To Die a Frenchman, is going to be premiered this month in a week's time.
In 4 days' time.
In 4 days' time in Rotterdam International Film Festival.
Yeah.
So a big hand for him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.